Update. This is Carrie Geren, Scoggins. Discussing today Trump's attempt to undo the 1940s Johnston Amendment, which enabled the taxation of churches that discuss politics or backed a political candidate. In reality, Donald Trump should not have to repeal an amendment that was unconstitutional at its core. We know that it's unconstitutional due to the fact that it opposes the poll tax law, taxing churches and ministers for debating politics from their biblical viewpoint and backing political candidates that best support their views. That is a civil right. The poll tax law, which became the 24th Amendment, stated that no individual nor group would be taxed for practicing what is a civil right. It was the church and the Christian ministers' civil rights to stand up and voice their viewpoint, publicly state their views politically from their biblical basis, and to back a candidate that shared those views, that best represented them. Why we call them a representative. To represent the population at large, disallowing the church to stand up and discuss their political viewpoints via threats of taxation is a direct violation of the poll tax law and the 24th Amendment. And how much more so after the 1964 Civil Rights Act gave religion protected class status to directly target a religious group, a protected class by federal law, to tax them for practicing the civil right of debating politics from their views or backing a candidate that best supports them and their views. Moving on to current times, we see atheist groups having gone hand in hand in agreement with the IRS, and this publicly stated in the media. In order for the IRS to come in and hunt down Christians that are debating politics, to make sure they receive taxation, targeting a protected class under religion. Of course, violating the 1964 Civil Rights Act, giving religion protected class status. And again, that poll tax law and the 20th Amendment, taxing someone for practicing a civil right. We see these atheist groups going in with big liberal Democrats in the IRS, the same that Snowden exposed for stalking down and harassing the religious right Republicans and Tea Party, blatantly, again, in a public admission of guilt, in agreement with an atheist group, to target Christian churches, again violating their protected class status under the law, with plans to go into their church with informants and recording their sermons, hoping to get them for discussing politics and backing a candidate to tax them. Again, we see from the left religious bigotry and hate striking out at the Christian church yet again. I commend Donald Trump for being the first president in my lifetime to stand up to the leftist agenda to censor the church. It's sad that this was not already tackled by the federal Supreme Court to put the constitutionality in check. Again, I find Donald Trump coming out on the right side of history. He may indeed make America great again. Where's freedom straight across the board? You're not a libertarian until you support the legal rights of those that you despise, and that includes Christian civil rights. The legal right to debate politics and back a candidate, a basic fundamental civil right, and doing so without being taxed for having practiced that civil right. Forcing our federal government and the IRS to adhere to what is already federal law. No longer taxing a protected class under religion for practicing what is a civil right. Debating politics and backing a political candidate. The most basic of American fundamental rights. This has been another End Times Prophecy News Update. Carrie Geren, Scoggins. Thank you for listening.